Obama should spend the remaining $350 billion in TARP money. For more on these issues, we turn to the House Majority Leader, Steny Hoyer, the Maryland Democrat, joins me now from Capitol Hill. Leader Hoyer, thank you for the time. And I've got to ask you, first of all, about how it felt this morning to wake up with a Democrat in the White House.
Terrific. Not only because Barack Obama is an extraordinary leader, as he showed during the campaign, and as he showed, in my opinion, yesterday in his speech, both on domestic policy, on international policy, and on the responsibility of each of us to be part of the solution. But also because I think there's now an opportunity to take actions that this country has needed for a long period of time. So it's a wonderful feeling. It's a daunting feeling because the challenges confronting this administration and this Congress are unlike perhaps any in recent times. But I think, as President-elect, now President Obama, said yesterday, Americans are up to the task.
All right, let me ask you about the economic agenda right now. Let's start with the stimulus package. The Appropriations Committee beginning its work today. Are you all still on course to try and get this thing done by the middle of February?
We are still on course. My expectation is that the markup in the House Appropriations Committee will be completed no later than tomorrow. There will be a markup of the tax side of the Recovery and Reinvestment Program tomorrow. And it's my expectation we'll have the bill on the floor on Wednesday the 28th and pass that bill through the House and send it to the Senate, where I'm hopeful that the Senate will move it by the time we break on the 13th of February.
Are you worried about major differences between the Senate and House version? Are you all going to have to hammer this out with your fellow Democrats over there?
Well, I think there'll certainly have to be discussions between the Senate and the House, as is always the case. But there have been close communication, close cooperation, working not only the House and Senate, but also with the incoming administration now, the President Obama administration. So I think there's a lot of agreement, and I'm hopeful that that agreement will hold and that we will stay on schedule. Clearly, all of the economists have told us, not only, as Tim Geithner said today, do we need to act boldly, but we need to act quickly as well.
Do you have any worries about Tim Geithner's nomination? I know you weren't there for that hearing on the Senate side, but
I wasn't there, but from everything I hear, the nomination of Tim Geithner will be approved, and it will be approved because I think most people believe that Tim Geithner is a person who understands the challenge that confronts us, has been playing a role, a constructive role in meeting that challenge, and will give confidence to the markets, which is really what we need.
Back to the stimulus, your colleagues on the other side of the aisle, Republicans, asked today for a meeting with the new president to offer their ideas. They don't like what's in the Democrats' version of this legislation. First of all, do you expect them actually to get that hearing with Barack Obama? Should they?
I do expect them to get that the meeting, at least in terms of their leadership. As a matter of fact, my expectation is the president will want to have a meeting with Republican leadership, as he's already done, but have those kinds of meetings on a regular basis to discuss not only this very, very substantial issue, but other issues as they come about.
Are you willing to consider, for example, changes to the tax section of this legislation, trying to appease those Republicans?
I certainly think that if good proposals are made, that we ought to consider them. Again, everybody that we've talked to says we need to act in an expeditious fashion because the failure to do so will further undermine the economy, which, as we saw yesterday and today, is still in pretty rocky shape. I was talking to somebody today that thinks the banks are in even greater trouble than we thought they were. Obviously, decisive action soon is necessary.
Well, let me ask you about that, the banking question. Are you all prepared to provide even more TARP funds to the banks? There's been talk, of course, you all voted today to obligate more of that money to help homeowners, but it sounds like the banks might need even more money even after the original $350.
Well, we'll have to see. The problem we have, Peter, is that the failure to act may be much more costly than the action itself, even when we're talking about terms like $350 billion in the TARP, or $850 billion in the Recovery and Reinvestment Package. Even in those, with those extraordinarily large numbers, it may not be enough to make sure that the economy stabilizes and starts improving. If it does not, it may cost us more in the long run than the money we would be expecting in TARP and in the Recovery and Reinvestment Program.
Sure. Sir, really quickly, final question. Would you expect there's going to be a TARP 3 and other requests for even more money?
I don't know that I expect it, but I would not be surprised by it.
All right. Steny Hoyer, the Majority Leader of the House of Representatives, as always, appreciate you joining us here on Money in Politics.
Thank you, Peter.
Coming up next on the program,